Visalia is a city in Central Valley, California. At the start of the millennium, the city's population was approximately 90,000. Although described as a small, sleepy city, the crime rate mirrors a much larger city. According to FBI statistics on crime in the U.S., between the early 1990s and mid-2000s, Visalia's crime rate was twice the national average. The crime spike was due to the gang wars. Oriental Troops is a Southeast Asian gang that started on the west side of Bakersfield, California, in the early 1980s. The gang was predominantly Cambodian with some Lao members. They are associated with the color black, the number 15 and 5 dots. In the city, surenos were already established. Conflicts between the two groups were minimal. They would draw a line in the sand and respect boundaries. Oriental Troops would expand north into the city of Visalia in the early 1990s. Since the early 1970s, Visalia's streets have been ruled by Nortenos. This gang was formed in California's prisons during 1968. The gang is a collective of Northern California Hispanic gangs. They identify with the color red and the number 14. Their mortal enemies are surenos. That is until the Oriental Troops arrived like the Mongols on horseback. As more Asian families began moving into the city, Nortenos would begin to harass and assault Asian youths. Northside Visalia Young Family 14 and Mexican Gang Banging 14 were two hoods on the front line. Many of these youth would join Oriental Troops. The gang would become predominantly Lao, with Minh, Hmong, and Lahu members. It is believed that Oriental Troops launched the first attack in the early 1990s. This attack started the gang war in the city of Visalia. The conflict has not resolved and is still in progress. Due to the size of the Nortenos kingdom and armies, gangs such as Oriental Ruthless Boys, Mongolian Boys Society, Laos Crips, and Oriental Boys would begin to form and also join the war. Even Surenos' gang, Southside Kings, had a loose alliance with Oriental Troops in the war. The hatred even crossed racial lines for some Nortenos. In some subset, the tattoo GK is common. G represents a derogatory term for Asian people. During this period, Visalia became one of the most violent places in the country. Many civilians were caught in the crossfire of this deadly war. Nancy Seychow, 13, struck in the head. Aaron Wolf, 14, struck in the torso. Scott Kelly, 33, struck in the head twice. All civilians died as a result of stray bullets from rival gang shooting. In 1999, Visalians asked themselves, why was all this violence was happening in the self-described jewel of the valley, a city of 90,000 people? In response to the extreme violence, courts mandated gang injunctions in the mid-2000s. The gangs are still active, but the war has died down a lot. Oriental Troop is one of the lesser-known Asian gangs, but is one of the most feared and respected. They would move north to Merced and establish a stronghold in Seattle.
He was one of 4 murder victims killed recently in a deadly spree. Visalia police say the Norteno gang is responsible. All of them charged with those recent murders. They were arrested with 70 other apparent gang members in a massive sweep.
Still know we have a significant gang issue in this town.